G'day guys, Ian from Cookies Critters, and today we're talking about the different scale types in bearded dragons. Now if you are new to this channel, please do us a favour, subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications, and we will see you just after this intro. Okay guys, so to kick this one off today, we are going to start with silkback bearded dragons. Now, the creation of a silkback bearded dragon is the combination of two leatherback bearded dragons, male and female mating leatherbacks, to create a super form of the silkback bearded dragon. Now guys, the silkback bearded dragon, I will put a picture up here. It is essentially a scaleless bearded dragon, so therefore you're dealing with a dragon that only has skin, no scales as protection. Therefore, here at Cookies Critters, we choose not to breed silkback bearded dragons. In a later video, we will be discussing why we don't breed silkback bearded dragons and the different care requirements for them, but we're going to roll on to the normal scale bearded dragon. Here we have Lemongrab. He is a normal scale hypo bearded dragon. And I'm going to do a close-up so that way you can see the scales in detail. So guys, as you can see, the scales are quite rough and they are quite coarse. And running down the side of his belly, the spikes are more prominent on a normal scale bearded dragon. Even the scales on the arms are a lot more textured and a lot rougher than a leatherback. Now guys, I will put a leatherback and a normal scale side by side so that way you can see a direct comparison. But this one is a normal scale bearded dragon, and the best example I can give you is it has the same kind of feel as about a 40 grit sandpaper. Here we have Ocho. She is a leatherback hypo bearded dragon, and currently she is gravid, so she is pregnant. Now, as the name does imply, leatherback means that the scales have that leather feel to it, like a leather wallet, purse, pair of shoes, leather jacket, etc, etc. Now, the scales are a lot finer. They still do have that sort of rough texture to it. It's not as smooth and soft as your leather couch would be, but it is a lot smoother. I'm going to bring it up closer so that way you can see Ocho's scales. As you can see, Ocho's scales are a lot smaller, a lot finer, and they even have the appearance that they are a lot softer. Now, as we look down the side of her belly, the spikes are still there, but they're not as prominent as Lemongrab's with his normal scale spikes. Now, there is varying scales and varying degrees of leatherbacks. You do have leatherbacks, you do have micro scales, you do have reduced scales, etc, etc. But in terms of leatherback, this is what you would expect if you were buying a leatherback bearded dragon. That very soft, fine scale. So her arms and her legs do still have scales, but they are a lot softer than Lemongrab's and a lot softer than a normal scale bearded dragon. For the side-by-side comparison, I do have little Ocho again, and I brought my other girl out, Fergie. She is a normal scale hypo trans, and as we can see, the difference in the scale texture is quite considerable. Ocho over here, her scales are quite soft and quite fine, whereas Fergie's are quite coarse and quite rough. Now, as we look at the side spikes on both dragons, we can noticeably see the difference where Fergie has very prominent, very large and multiple layers of those side spikes, whereas little Ocho here, she only has a couple of spikes and they are a lot more reduced and a lot finer, but they're also just limited to the underarm, and they start to thin out as they get closer to her waist. Okay guys, that's it for today's video, and I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please hit that like button, and the question for today is, do you like the style of our thumbnails? Please leave your answers down in the comments below. We would love to hear your feedback. Guys, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications. That way you won't miss a coming video. And until next time, if you've got them, keep your beard treated and your beard is heated.